The author, behind the scenes, and action!
Rise and shine, Robert.
Welcome to the behind the scenes and the making of The Author, a short film by yours truly. So the idea initially came from this mask staring at me every day for the last probably 5 years since I bought it in Vegas. The film wasn't even, this film was supposed to be an experimental short film that I was going to shoot with my friends, nothing official. It was right after I'd finished an advanced editing course, and I wanted to do some experimental shots, like for example, the accident scene. I wanted to shoot during the day and then turn it into night and then set the car on fire in post-production. And then I had this other idea where this mask could represent the author's alter ego, so like nobody could see this masked person, only he could. So I had these shots where he was standing talking to himself, and one character would be wearing the mask and the other one would be standing there himself. And then I wanted to match those together, and just basic or rather advanced editing techniques that I wanted to practice with this film. And then the more I wrote the film, and I think it was, I don't even know how many drafts into it, I said, there's something about this, I really want to shoot it. And it didn't really become real until I started casting it. Once I put the audition notice up and all these wonderful actors started auditioning for the part, that's when I realized, I'm like, okay, this is becoming real. I better get serious about this. Casting the role of the author, Robert Keller, was fun. I got some really good auditions, and I had a deadline of, it was like a Sunday, and I got a few auditions for the role, and I cast it to a very talented actor, but unfortunately he had some family obligations and he had to back out. And at that same time, I think it was like the Wednesday after, when Marcio contacted me and he apologized. He said he was like really busy and he couldn't make the deadline, and he wondered if he could still audition, and I welcomed him. He sent me the audition and I was very impressed, and I said yeah. The next day I called him on the phone and I said, if you want the part, you got it.
Hi. Forgive me. Do I know you?
My name is Natalie. I'm your caregiver.
Caregiver?
Robert, you had an accident, lost parts of your memory. Every day I start by reminding you of the basics, and then we work together and record your progress. You've had great physical recovery, some bruises that are healing, but you still need this.
How? I mean, the accident.
When Liz contacted me, it was almost like an instant connection. It was like just what she wrote in the email. She referenced the movie Misery with Kathy Bates, and this film has a touch. I mean, it's not really about that, but it does have, a little, possibly a reference on that film, and I knew that going into it. So when Liz contacted me and she brought that up, I was like, okay, wow, this is like an instant connection. And and I was like, yeah, send me an audition. And I remember I was getting very nervous because as we were approaching Sunday, I'm like, I wonder if she's going to send me this audition. And on the Sunday, I was like standing by, and I had all these wonderful auditions from a lot of people actually auditioned for the role of Natalie. And then sure enough, I get the email from Liz, and I was very excited, and I knew. And so I watched the audition, and I think I responded right away. I said, you got the part. Like, I already knew she had the part.
My name is Natalie. I'm your caregiver.
Caregiver.
Robert, you've had an accident and lost parts of your memory. Every day I remind you of the basics, and we work together. And I record your progress. You had great physical recovery. Some bruises are healing. But you still need this.
Shannon was the first person that sent in her audition for Stacy, and it was instant. I just knew. I knew right away. She was my first choice, and I was very impressed. And of course, she got the part to play Stacy, and I'm very happy about that choice. She did a wonderful job.
I've read all your books, but The Wall Between Us is on its own level. Thank you.
Your characters seem so real. I feel like I can reach out and touch them. How do you do it?
Tatiana contacted me about playing the role, and at that time I had opened up the role of Danny to any gender, and I had some good auditions. I'd asked all the actors who were auditioning for Danny and Stacy to read both parts so I can get a good feel for, they can get more screen time for the audition. And Tatiana split the auditions. She did one for Stacy and one for Danny, and I just looked at the range that she played in between these two characters, and I was very impressed, and I'm still happy about that choice. And I contacted her right away, and I said, I would love to give you Stacy's part, but it's already been cast, and I do have to do a mother-daughter combo, so I'd be happy if you played the role of Danny, and she accepted, and I was very happy about it.
I've read all your books, but The Wall Between Us is on its own level.
Thank you.
I've read all your books, but The Wall Between Us is on a whole other level.
Thank you.
So for the role of the stranger, Mr. Stephan Luc Larose. Stephan and I had met before on a different shoot, and he sent me a very professional request to audition for the part of Robert, at which I sent him an insult, something about him being too hairy in my film, and well, he thought I was just joking, so he pushed on. No, but he was wonderful. He contacted me and he said he was very sick, and he was in bed, and he was wondering if he could get an extension to send me an audition. And I said, well, guess what? Robert's waking up in bed, my memory lost, very confused. Use that. Send me an audition in bed. And so he did.
Rise and shine, Robert.
Hi. Forgive me. Do I know you?
I really liked Stephan's look for the role of the stranger. He just played that, the tough guy, the guy, the very mysterious, who is this guy? And, he's got the beard, he's got just the presence.
Hey, buddy, you alive? Stay here, I'm gonna call 911.
My crew, this wonderful people that we've only met a short time ago, and it's been an instant click in terms of our goals and what we want to do and when we want to do it and how, and we're all kind of struggling artists at this point, and but we support each other, and there's a lot of love, and there's they came in and they just worked so hard, and they did such a wonderful job, and we had so much fun together, and we were under a lot of pressure time-wise in terms of locations, and and I was able to do my job as a director, and as we were getting closer to the end of the day, I would look back and I see them carrying everything out to the van and cleaning up, but at the same time playing small roles in the film, and it was just a nice group effort to do in front of the camera, behind the camera. We were running around, we were just it was just such a rush, but but it was such a great little community, and I'm very happy about what happened and how we got to shoot this film together. I very appreciate everyone that was involved in this film. Notice something in the ground, because tomorrow we're gonna match that, because the mask is gonna be there, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, whoa, wait, what am I seeing? So here you can kind of be like starting to pay attention, like what's going on, but you're still standing there. You're like, you're holding your position, and then you
from the skid.
And then from here you're starting to see the mask, and then the mask is like, remember, because that's gonna be the forest, and then you start to like fall back, and that's when you run towards them, and you just kind of hold them from behind. Being an actor and training with some wonderful coaches over the years definitely helped me be a director for the first time. I had done a couple of smaller projects on official practice films recently, but this was the official first time directing. And just being an actor and being able to see exactly what I'm imagining and being able to describe it to the fellow actors, and at times even showing them taking those steps, going in and actually showing and kind of seeing like this is what's in my head, this is what I'm imagining, and it was such a good collaboration, because then we're all actors, and we were able to go back and forth. It was a very great experience to collaborate. I'm gonna say collaborate rather than direct, because everyone, including my director of photography, Rajesh, he had some ideas, and he would just be like, let's just shoot this. And at that moment I didn't know why we're doing it, but I just trusted him. I said, okay, let's just do it. Okay, the camera sits here and we're gonna shoot it in this angle. And then later on in editing and post-production, I was able to, understand why we did it. So we're in a memory, this story right now. So this morning, he was driving, and in the car, as he's thinking about like life and how all this has happened, I'm not going to give away like what has happened. We start to zoom in on his face, and then from there we cut into his face here, and then we start to pan over. So Antony will be the motivation for the camera to move. So he'll come over to this side. Thank you. So we'll have yes, Paris and Eli here. Thank you. Come on over. Yes, of course. So then Antony will come to you guys. So Marcio, you'll start with them. You will just be like mingling with them. So once he comes over, then you can go up here and take center stage, and then Antony can just tuck yourself in so we can catch you. So we just get you started for the speech. I did the editing in DaVinci Resolve. I love the software. If you're not using DaVinci, you should use DaVinci. It's an amazing software. I took a couple of online courses that brought me up to speed. I had used other softwares before, but once I got introduced to DaVinci, there's no turning back. So it took me probably a week. I had to figure out some stuff because the footage that we got was 8K footage from a RED camera. My laptop said, I'm not doing it. So I had to figure out how to basically use proxies, which is you bring the quality of the footage down for the process of editing. and then now then that way your computer can handle the weight. Then you do the edit, and then you disconnect those proxies and then bring it back to its original quality, and then send it to the colorist, who will then do the color grading and then give you that finished product. So then I moved over to Logic Pro. I've been using Logic Pro since 2010, probably. Produced a lot of music on it, and that's how I approached it. This was the first time doing a film score, and I tried to do some tutorials on YouTube just to see what the difference is between producing music versus doing a music score. And I just decided to just go for it, throw away anything that's going to block me from being creative. And I just watched the film, and I just kind of went for it. I just tried to see what feels right. And aside from the main theme that I had already pre-produced before the shooting, and I'd sent this out to all the cast and crew before the shoot, so it's kind of ingrained in their minds before we go into shooting the film. And then just kind of went into each scene, and I watched the scene and just tried to see what it feels like. And it's the scene in the kitchen. I thought he was, right after he had an episode in the yard, and so I wanted to keep it very dark and mysterious. And then this it's almost a haunting piano sound in the background. Yeah, and I just kind of just went out and picked out sound effects, and this is not even the only file that I use. There's 3 different separate files. One that I had to master all the dialogue, and then the other one for just the music, and one for all the sound effects, background noise, everything. And then I combined them all in one file, and I just started to play around with all the levels and then, probably went through, watched this film, I don't know how many times, 30 to 50 times, just doing levels, like turning down a little bit, turning up a little bit, and just finally to get the final picture. Thank you for joining me during this fun journey. My advice to anybody that's trying to take on this task is just go for it, just do it. This project was a little bit ambitious for me. I remember I was feeling a bit overwhelmed at times, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing such a big project for my first official, but do something in your ability, but push yourself at the same time. I mean, I'm really happy that I did it. Doesn't matter what I was feeling in the little moments at times. I think everybody has those moments of doubt and being unsure of themselves, but just push those boundaries, challenge yourself, and just do it. At the end of the day, it's a creative piece of work. There's no right or wrong. Some of the shots, as I said, that I wanted, I got, but they're not usable. Other shots that I didn't want ended up in the film, and they became very useful to be able to tell my story. And I was able to even have some twists and turns because of time availability, space availability, and just shot list. There was a shot that I forgot to get, but with sound effects and other shots. I think even I've used shots from just a rehearsal that just to tell the story. So yeah, just just keep rolling, get all the shots, and then fix it in post. Thanks for joining me. Oh my God, look at me. End of day one. Oh, Raj, how was it?
Good.
This is a hard working man. This guy here, right here. Oh my God. We pulled some good shots. This is the house we rented for the day. Wonderful people. And yeah, excellent. That was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Give it up for Tatiana. And we like to thank everyone and our hosts here, the Wilsons, and the lovely Miss Katie. Like the Wilsons and the lovely Miss. Who's the other Wilson? Thank you. This is the behind the scenes. Yeah. Well. Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much.